First on our agenda is the purpose of the hearing. Mr. Adams.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Branch. Before we get started, I just want to let everybody know we do have handouts available tonight. They're available at check-in, and we do have some available in the back of the room if anybody would like a copy. I want to remind everybody the purpose of the meeting. The board approved the final budget expenditure and tentatively adopted a millage of 15 mills at the June 10th board meeting. With the release of the tax digest, Oconee County Schools recommends a millage rate of 14.25 mills, which is a decrease of 0.75 mills from last year's millage rate. The law requires the millage rate to be advertised as a property tax increase as a result of the assessed value of the property in our county being greater than it was a year ago. In order to not advertise an increase, the millage rate would be no more than 13.934 mills. The board is required to hold 3 hearings for the purpose of listening to the public on any thoughts they may have on this matter. The first 2 meetings were held on July 1st, one at 10 a.m. and one at 5 p.m., and the third is this evening. The final adoption of the millage that the board deems appropriate will be at the July 8th special session. On the screen, you will see our budget calendar. The board tentatively adopted the budget on May 13th, and I also want to remind the board that the required budget hearings were held on May 22nd and June 3rd, prior to the final adoption of the budget on June 10th. The budget highlights for fiscal year 25 include a 4% salary improvements for all OCS teachers and staff, salary steps creations for years 22 through 30, health insurance, employer contribution increase, 19 new positions, new curriculum, a teacher retirement employer contribution increase, and a one-time custodian supplement. The budget presentation, budget calendar, and budget documents are posted on Assembly with the corresponding meeting dates mentioned earlier. The June 10th approved budget document is also posted on the school district website, along with the final tax digest and hearing notice. The hearing dates and times have also been posted on the school district website, social media accounts, and in the legal organ. All advertisements have been published as required. An updated budget that reflects anticipated revenues based on the final tax digest and recommended millage of 14.25 mills is shown for your consideration. Please note, at 14.25 mills, our estimated unassigned fund balance will be 17.8 million, which equates to 15.55%. The Georgia Department of Education recommended best practice is to maintain about 2 months operating expenses on hand, which would equate for fiscal year 25 to 19.2 million or 16.8% estimated unassigned fund balance. With that information, we still recommend the 14.25 mills. That concludes my explanation of the hearing, unless there are any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is public communication. Mr. Colquitt.
Thank you, Ms. Argo. Good evening, board members and Dr. Branch. We have 2 citizens signed up to speak this evening. Before I call them forward, I will read this. The board allows 3 minutes for those who sign up at the meeting. You must be a current resident of Oconee County to address the board. Please state your name, address, and topic. The board requests that you refrain from making any disparaging remarks about school system personnel. Generally, there will be no response to comments or questions posed by citizens at the meeting. All comments and questions will be received and taken under advisement by the board. However, any member of the board shall be free to respond and make public comments if he or she elects to do so. Our first citizen is Ian Taylor.
Welcome.
Thank you.
still not going to fuss about spending. I hope I am not the only one that finds it ironic that the first meeting that was held in this new $14 million administration building was a hearing to discuss a tax increase. Today, I find myself uncharacteristically at a loss for words. I just don't get it. I will try to articulate my frustration as best I can. I have only 3 minutes, so I will not go into the math here, but by my calculations, if you drop the millage rate to the 13.934 that would have precluded these hearings, your unassigned fund balance would be 14.61% of expenditure, only about $460,000 less than the 15% maximum allowed by law. And for reference, that law is Georgia Code Title 20, Section 20-2-167, subsection A, paragraph 5. But besides that, you know as well as I do that if needed, this amount could easily be made up by earned interest, by overcollection of taxes, or heaven forbid, deferring $400,000 in spending. The Oconee County Board of Commissioners and Bogart are rolling back their millage rate. It looks like North, High Shoals, and Bishop are not increasing taxes. And Watkinsville, who increases taxes just because it's Tuesday, has decided that this is not a good year to ask for a tax increase. But this board believes it needs more, and I just don't get it. I have no doubt that this is going to be touted as the lowest millage rate since Reconstruction or some such nonsense, but I would remind you that a millage rate is just a political sleight of hand. What matters most is the total tax collected. And this year, this board will impose the highest ever local tax burden on the citizens of Oconee County, both in overall total and on a per capita basis. Ms. Argo, Tim, this is your last budget. Show some relief. You have plenty of money. You have plenty of money. Please take what you need, not what you want. Approve a millage rate of 13.9 or less. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next citizen is Pamela Lore Hendricks.
Welcome.
Thank you. I don't know about y'all, but that was hard to watch. He told me earlier, you know, he's an immigrant. He immigrated here from South Africa, and he told me, you know, all I want them to do, all I want America to do is live up to what it sold me on. And he's very discouraged, and that hurts my soul. And I just want to say tonight, I know I've been before y'all again and again, but tonight I want to kind of talk about the fact that this budget, this school board budget, seems to be growing from the top down. And I want to remind you that we voters elect you on the school board to represent us. And then you hire the superintendent, who then hires the rest of the employees of Oconee County and to work in our school system. And first of all, I'd like to know if we're having trouble getting teachers, because I've been seeing some ads out there for teacher, you know, coming, wanting people to apply. So, you know, I don't think this is definitely coming from the top. And once again, it's the biggest budget. Remember, last year's budget, I believe, was the first budget to ever go over $100 million. And now we're at basically $115 million, somewhere in there. So we're just growing by leaps and bounds. And recall, our enrollment is not. Our enrollment is dropping. I believe this is the third year in a row. So I just wanted to talk about kind of from the top. And I wanted to say that, you know, you hire the superintendent, and his base salary is $253,071. But there's also all these other perks that are included in this contract that you've voted on. And you've got to vote on it again in August. And so our superintendent gets a 3-year contract. Our teachers get a 1-year contract. Why is that? We pay membership in all his associations. The teachers pay their own. We pay him a travel allowance of $1,000 a month. I think he lives in Oconee County. I can't figure out why. We pay for his cell phone. We pay for his health insurance premiums for his whole family. We don't pay our teachers health insurance premiums. I mean, how does that make you feel? And what is going to impact our children more? It's not you guys, it's not the people that work in this building. It's the teachers that are with your children every day of the year. And so then we're contributing for dental and health. We're contributing 15% for a retirement annuity. That's almost $40,000, $37,960. We're contributing 3.5% to the teacher retirement system. The teachers have to pay their own contributions. What is going on? Why are we doing this from the top down? It just goes on and on and on. If his life is threatened, we pay reasonable cost of protection. And now one thing, it did say that the board and the superintendent meet annually to establish goals and objectives, and they must be put in writing, and I need to see those. This is very frustrating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Argo, that concludes public communication.
Thank you. We are adjourned.